I promise you this is so far from anything that you've ever been to.
And now.
To create a powerful USP, make sure it ties into the most emotionally stimulating elements of your positioning strategy. And it's for a target market. So again, you might have 6, 8 USPs, and they're going to be different for each target market. Make it short, a phrase, not a sentence. Keep it vague enough to leave room for imagination. Convey a positive feeling. Give it impact, punch, and emotion. Avoid defining your product as a commodity, obviously. Focus on promise of emotional gratification, the result or benefit, not the work you do. Make it consistent with the components of your positioning strategy. So here you will have written out 5 or 6 sentences about a positioning strategy to a target market. Just for practice sake, I do want you to do one buyer target market and one seller target market as you go through these exercises. And then USP. So I want you to come up with a USP for a trade-up buyer in your market or a luxury buyer in your market, and then USP for a downsize seller or first-time seller or whatnot, or reload seller. All right, and then your positioning statement is simply, it basically restates the USP, but it just expands on it. So USP doesn't have to be a complete sentence. It's more of a statement. And this just kind of expands on what it is. And there are examples in the worksheets that you can use. It uses more literal terms and concrete language that should resonate with the people in your target market. Will still focus on emotional gratification rather than product details. Elaborates on the USP to draw the customer's interest by redefining your services in an emotionally appealing way. Forms a bridge from the USP to all other marketing and sales communications you will be using. 3 elements, and for what we do, you probably will touch on all 3 of these elements. So the products, so the services, we are widget providers, so we need to make sure that our languaging sounds better than that. The example they use is the example of the widget. Like, how do you compete if you're making widgets? And there's 1,000 people that make widgets. There's how many in our market making widgets? 8,500 people now that are doing real estate in our market. So I like the widget example. Describe the problem your service solves to that target market, right? So it becomes way easier when, for me, this was a big sigh of relief when I realized that, oh shit, there are 3 or 4 target markets in the buyer side and the seller side when everything's been generic so far. So describe the problem your service solves by packaging your solution and making it memorable by giving the service a name. So it could be the first-time buyer solution, for lack of anything with any creativity. And then the result. Describe the result your service can achieve for the customer that he or she should find emotionally gratifying. So this is so we're the widget application experts, right? So we're expert real estate advisors or something along those lines. We found that many widget buyers overbuy and waste money on unnecessary purchase and inventory costs. So we've developed the perfect purchase program to deliver exactly what you need when you need it at the lowest cost possible. We will help you meet your production deadlines with lower costs and less effort than you're expending now. So even using that example, you can kind of plug and play different words for real estate and your target market specifically. All right. So we know this, right? So that example of a guy that I go to church to that didn't even give me the Christian benefit of the doubt and just assumed that I was some scam artist because I ran guaranteed sale. So it happens whether you do anything about it or not. If you do nothing, then you'll become positioned in whatever way, like that example, a prospective customer wants. If you position carelessly, you can easily create the opposite perceptions from those you want. When all is said and done, it's your positioning that first turns a customer's head in your direction. The caveat to that is that it's most likely not this work on positioning that's going to get them to come to you. So we'll talk about lead generation in the afternoon. But when they get there, they've got to feel like they're in the right place, which is all positioning. Creates the groundwork for successfully moving customers through the purchase decision chain and sets you apart from the competition. Good positioning forms the foundation of any effective marketing and lead generation strategy, which is why we're doing it first.